This is 5.
This is episode 5. We're back for another episode, man. You know, today, bro, it's early morning here. It's 10 a.m. And there's like a massive snowstorm outside right now. Like, huge snow.
So you're cooped up inside.
We're cooped up inside, man. We're cooped up inside. How was your weekend, bro? What'd you get up to?
It was a nice weekend, man. Very busy. I had 2 gigs. Last night was more of a chilled one, more low-key bar vibes. But yeah,
Okay.
Friday closed for Arotis, which was unexpected gig. Literally came about in the morning. They text me saying, "Oh, we have an opening for tonight if you want to close for Arotis," and I was like, "Man, of course."
Yeah, I can't say no to that, man.
You know. So literally, it was quite a late one. Well, I played 3:30 until 5. So it's always, you've got to like be quite strategic with time when you're playing that late, especially at home.
Yeah.
Shimza was playing at a big venue in London, but his show was a bit early, so I didn't want to like leave around 11 and then have like 5 hours of just waiting around. So I just stayed at home and then woke up around 2 a.m. Got an
After
Uber and then
you
played.
actually took a nap before going.
Yeah, man, I have to not gonna just stay up watching movies, man. I was like, let me rest.
Yeah.
Obviously, I did my set. I just added all the tracks that I wanted to play, organized that, and then took a nap and was ready to go.
One question for you, man, on this topic. What do you think you enjoy more? Do you enjoy opening more or closing when it's like a headliner act like that?
Man, I wouldn't want to close for Shimza.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
I would not want to go after Shimza, but at the same time, I think I would love to, because one thing about what I bring as a DJ and what I do is songs that no one else has, right?
Yeah.
So I think that's almost like my superpower, without sounding too arrogant. But people are always like, "Oh man, like, do you ever get nervous?" Yes, you do, but you always know that you've got fire that the crowd will never have heard of before. So
Yeah, man, I don't know.
like that gives me confidence.
For me, going after Shimza is like, the decks are hot, bro. It's too hot.
Oh mate, I remember this is 2022, Descendants Amsterdam. I think Bun Chapa was playing, Shimza was playing.
Mhm.
And yeah, Shimza obviously did his thing, and everyone was just like, man. And I was just looking at Bun Chapa like, bro.
Good luck.
And he was just, and you can tell someone's just like, here goes nothing. So
Yeah, no.
my guy went out there and he killed it. He killed it though, but I think it's definitely daunting, man. Going after someone that is so good and skillful on the decks, man. Oof, tough.
No, 100%. I think it takes a lot of time to build that confidence. I mean, I think Bun, as a DJ as well, has really come into his own over the last year, especially. I've seen his sets evolve, since he kind of started touring, and just recently he's got it, man. He knows what he's doing.
Bun has aura, right?
He does.
He's got aura, he's got the look, he's got the shades, he's got, that image.
Yeah.
That works for him. Also, his music is quite high energy, which, I think at that time of the night when you're playing on Sharpa, it works for him, man. It works for him.
No, it does, man. It does. Good weekend, bro. Good weekend. My weekend was the opposite. I've been like down and out Friday and Saturday. I got something called, have you ever heard of tattoo flu?
Yeah, but you had a big weekend last week, right? Because I forgot to ask you and put you on the spot on episode 4. As soon as we finished recording, I was like, damn, I forgot to ask him. So yeah, it's only right that you had to take this weekend off, bro.
No,
You gotta
I took
recover,
it
man.
off.
You gotta recover. We're getting old.
No, exactly, man. I had a quiet weekend. I also got a fresh tattoo on Friday, and it was like my biggest and longest tattoo I've ever gotten. I didn't know there's something called tattoo flu, which basically is like you're down and out for 24 to 48 hours because it's just like
How many tattoos do you have?
I think like 10 now, man. I don't know. Losing
I know you
count.
got that Relentless one.
Yeah, relentless. That's the motto. So I got another one. I'm working on a patchwork sleeve. So the one I got right now was like around my forearm, around kind of the relentless tattoo. We'll
You
do a
gotta get a
reveal.
club record
Well,
tattoo, man.
nah, man, come on. Like you think about it, and then it's like, what if the logo changes or
Right
like,
here. Get it
you
right
know,
here.
I mean, we're not gonna name names, but
You get
DJs have got.
club record under your eyes, mate.
Oh, if I'm ever a touring DJ, maybe, maybe we'll see.
Hey,
We'll
man.
see.
We'll definitely get more gigs.
Yeah, 100%, bro. So yeah, that was my weekend. Just kind of kept it chill, and now we're waiting out the snow until tomorrow. Let's see how it goes.
Man, Canada and snow. How high is it?
No, it's bad, man. Like yesterday was -16, and today is a little bit warmer. It's -8, but it's like gonna snow for like 12 hours right
My
now.
goodness. My
Yeah.
goodness. That's definitely not it's not gonna be on my retirement destination.
Nah, neither. It won't be on mine, man. I'm ready to get out of here. I'm moving to London
That's off the
soon.
list.
Yeah, yeah. I'll take London. London's cold, but it's better than here.
Only thing about London is I think growing up in London for me, like if you're not earning a certain amount and you've got, the luxury of just traveling and seeing the world, is it the best place to grow up in? Question mark there.
I don't know, man, but I feel like
Question mark.
I mean, you talk about expenses. All major cities are I think starting to become more or less the same in terms of cost of living. I mean, London is a special case, but I think a lot of cities are catching up now. And then growing up, like there's only so many places where things are kind of, I don't know, I want to say safe, but then they all have their drawbacks. Like Dubai is safe and there's less, um exposure to certain things, but
Right.
then you live a very spoiled life, sheltered, and then reality is hits
Almost like not
different.
real, artificial. I mean, I
Yeah,
grew up I grew up in a very small town in Italy, which was very community orientated. So that helped me. And I think
yeah.
that gave me certain values and perspective. But at the same time, it wasn't very um, diverse, right? Diversity was quite low. So yeah, I think you
But
gotta
I
go
think
somewhere where it's like quite open minded.
I agree. I also think there's a benefit in being like, it's called a third culture kid, which is basically like you, Ghanaian in Italy, South African in Nigeria, or whatever. I think that kind of upbringing is the coolest, as opposed to being like, some other, like you're in Canada, the kids all
Builds
think,
character, man. Builds character. Listen,
yeah.
I moved around a lot. People don't know, but grew up in Italy, moved to London, went to America, came back to London, went back to Italy, now back in London. Like
Oh
builds
my God.
character, man. Builds character for sure.
It does, man. It does. It does. But yeah, big week, big set of releases that came out this past Friday. I mean, first, most notably for me is the Maioni release, Evolution of Afro House. For those that don't know, Maioni is like a record label and kind of production house owned by Zakes Bantwini. Um, and this project is really, really cool. There's a lot of good South African producers on it: Marco Pex, Black Rhythm, Drega, House Villains, Malene Aura, Technique.
Damn.
Big release, man. Do you have a chance to listen to it yet or no?
Yeah, I listened to most of it. Crazy, Marco Pex, and I think it's quite a bold project, isn't it? The evolution of Afro House. I would love to speak to the team behind it and coming up with that name. Right.
Yeah.
I think it's bigger obviously than the project and the track that they released. I think there is a conversation there that they're trying to have and they're trying to send a message. But I mean, those producers are some of the best in South Africa, right? If you look at Drega, Marco Pex, which is a name that I think 99% of people in Afro House that have no idea who Marco Pex is. But
Yeah.
if we are to, if we were to put some of the best producers in the same room, Marco Pex has to be in that room. Like that's, without a doubt, yeah, I'd put Marco Pex in that room. Him, Black Rhythm. Obviously, Drega has to be in that room. So,
Yeah.
yeah, it's an underrated project. What did you think about it?
No, listen, I think it's always difficult to fully understand and appreciate like a full body of work right away. You know, it only released this past Friday, and I'm the
Right.
kind of person where I might listen to something on Friday and I'm like, you know, and then I'll listen to it again the following week or the week after, and I'm like, okay,
I hear you.
actually, I was sleeping on this one, but I thought it was amazing, man. Really.
But you know what it
Um,
is? You always appreciate something more when someone else plays it or someone else tells you about it or when someone else. It's
yeah.
almost like this FOMO thing. It's almost like the same way as like, you might appreciate a track, but then someone plays it in a mix and you're like, oh my God, this is actually a banger. It's that same feeling.
But it's like time and a place thing, right? So you are, the certain setting, that's music, the emotions kind of kick in. You know, when you're just at home, it's Friday morning, you're starting your day and you throw on some music, it might not hit the same if you're in a certain setting or with people. But what I really like is that Drega is releasing on streaming platforms. I mean, he's got a lot of really big tunes that I
Yeah.
guess you could call them unofficial remixes that are only SoundCloud releases. So Drega's an interesting one for me, man, because he goes after these big vocal edits, kind of, and less on the streaming
So
side.
I play Lovely Trigger every time I DJ. Like
Oh, really?
without sometimes I'm like, man, you play this too much, but I
But
play
it
that track
hits.
every time I'm DJing, and I'm not exaggerating. I'm
It
playing
hits, man.
Lovely Trigger remix.
It
He
hits.
is crazy.
He's a special one, Drega, and he's been around for time as well. So yeah, I think another. I mean, we have to talk
Bro,
about Baby
Trigger has a
Run.
Grammy, right?
Drega has a Grammy, yeah.
He's got a
Drega.
Grammy, bro. Come on, put some respect on his name, man. He's got a Grammy.
I mean, always, man, always. Talk to me, man. Talk to me about Baby Run.
Jimmy
Jimmy
Jules.
Jules.
I didn't know that, it was such a long time coming for this track. 10
Yeah,
years? Oh, almost a decade. I think he said like 8 or 10 years, but bro, he finished that track. That means what? 2016, 17, 18?
yeah.
Yeah, some producers are visionaries
You
and
know
they
when
just
when
they just have it, right?
the first time I heard this track, I don't know what year it was, but Black Coffee was playing a Burning Man set at Mayan Warrior, and I heard the track in the set, and I would keep repeating, "What song is that? What song is that?" And then you can't find it. Comments don't know.
Shazam don't work.
Um, and then yeah, you said, "Oh, Baby Run's coming out next week." Can't believe it. And I actually didn't know what it was. And
Oh,
then
I
I heard
see.
it. I heard it on Friday and I'm like, "Oh my God, this track. Finally."
What what do you think is the strategy of holding on to a track for that long? What is the strategy? Because a lot of OG producers do it. And I think there is a bubble now that should pop very soon of like music being released too much and too soon,
Yeah.
which, you know, we could see that turning the completely other to the other side where people follow this strategy of like, okay, making a banger, making a classic and holding on to it for as long as possible. Maybe not
I
8 years, but 1 year, 2 years, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of producers nowadays, like something gets a little bit hot and they're like, "Oh my God, we have to drop it now. Let's get it out." Just because it's got a little bit of momentum. But I think there's definitely value in taking your time and letting it simmer over a few seasons. People continue to ask questions, but it has to be really big, right? A lot of people asking about it. I want to say there's another side to this argument where potentially you hold on something for that long, maybe when your career or catalog needs a bit of a boost, then you say, okay, I've got this rocket in my pocket to use at any time I need it. You know, I'm not sure. I think 8 years is a little too long. Jimmy Jules, would love
It's
to
an
know what
interesting strategy though. Like,
crazy, man.
I'm trying to understand. also we do live in this singles era where people are releasing singles and it's not really about a whole body of work.
Yeah.
So to me, it's interesting. But other producers that do this, I think, you know, easy to mention, the Capo,
Hmm.
Cairo, right? Those are the obvious guys. I'm sure Black Coffee's got some tracks he's sitting on. I mean, listen, most producers have a lot of music that they're sitting on, but when it comes to, there's a difference between what's in your hard drive and what you play and people know and
Yeah.
talk about, right? And they're expecting. Um, yeah,
But I think it's also like, the names that you talk about there are those guys that are kind of established, and they have a very sustainable career already, so they can also afford to keep things in the vault, whereas, younger, more up and coming guys who are looking for their big break can't afford that luxury, you know?
I always thought that a DJ or a producer would do this so that it causes you as the audience to go and see them, right?
Mm.
Because that is the only platform that you're gonna hear the track. If you go and buy the ticket, go to the event, that that's always been the first thing that I've thought about.
That's
Es-
that's a good point.
Especially when it comes to like and the Capo and Caro. I've always been like, okay, I think that's why they do it, right? Because they know that. I mean, at the time, Two Zulumen and Ibiza was a thing.
Yeah.
They're not going to drop it because they want you to go to their event, spend money, go see them live, and you're going to experience the track. That's always been my thinking.
No, that makes sense. I actually didn't think about it that way, but that's probably a good strategy as well.
Yeah.
I mean, no, Good Friday. Another one I want to talk about is the unreleased records. I don't know, they didn't call it a compilation, but they
Game changers.
Game Changers 3, so that's their third one, right?
Yeah. I like what they're doing. They they have a focus, I would say, a focus on the compilation and the mini albums.
Yeah,
And Arodis as well, man. He's releasing a lot of music.
he is.
Um, he's releasing a lot of music, which I like. I mean, I love when artists are consistent and they're putting out quality music.
Mhm.
Did you see how they promoted the album with like the GTA video?
Yeah, I saw that.
That was quite funny, man. I like that. That was out the box.
No, they're good. I mean, they even their whole branding, there's a video game element to it. I remember their ADE run of events was all kind of video
Uh,
game focused branding. Really cool stuff, like retro,
They got busy, man. ADE last year, they got busy. I mean, of course, for those that don't know, they are power engined by Armada, right? That they
Yeah.
have that behemoth behind them, but yeah, I think Unreleased is one of the best brands that we have in Afro
Uh,
House right now for sure.
I agree, man. I agree. And then I get obviously we have to highlight our own release, Hinya by Dark and Nes Imburu.
Yeah,
Banger. I've
that
had
was
a lot of people reaching out being like, this is stunning, pure Afro house.
it's nice.
Love
Yeah,
it.
bro, it's streaming well.
Really
It's
nice.
streaming well. Um, yeah, listen, it's the Afro House that we're putting out as club record is quite varied.
Yeah.
It's not a specific style. I think we do have an identity and a style, but you know, I love this South African, more African feeling, uplifting Afro House.
Cool, man. I think yeah, those are kind of the highlights of the releases this week. A few more. David McKay dropped on Anjuna Deep with Martin Rolla.
Yes, sir.
Dennis Louvre on Opalo, and Major League DJs on Deep Root
Oh,
Tracks.
Major
So
League DJs? Okay. I think
Major
I
League
missed that one.
DJs.
Nice.
Yeah, yeah. Good release. Good release. I wouldn't say it's their biggest or baddest, but good release, yeah. Solid.
I mean, again, we talked about this in previous podcasts, but they are an Afro House duo now, right?
Yeah.
That's what they do. That's what they focus on. And yeah, people have to accept that. But yeah,
I mean,
Major
it is
League, I'm here for it.
Yeah, I agree, man. I mean, so something I want to start kind of getting into is, I mean, every Friday there's so many releases. You have two big bodies of work, you know, both also completely different. So the question is, are production styles today all formulated the same? Like, how have things changed kind of, over the last few years?
I think how people produce music now is from inspiration and from references of tracks that they enjoy. I
Yeah,
think a lot of producers now start producing because it's almost like they're fans of other producers more than the actual music.
right.
I think that is a huge topic where, you might hear someone that's doing very well and you're like, man, I love this track so much. And then you just start making that sound instead of really learning about the actual art form.
Yeah,
So I think this is why, I mean, this was, I saw Kenny Dope. He was in a podcast, I think, with like A Track and someone else, and they're talking about production styles becoming too formulated and following the same format. I think it's true. You've got that kind of mini break, build feels, then there's a big break, and most productions follow that format and that style, which is predictable,
yeah,
predictable, right? But if you listen to a track like Amakoloni by the Manu remix back in the day, and I played it last night in one of my sets, bro, that track has no break. It just builds and builds and builds. It keeps going, and it's almost like he's performing and making that track live.
it's different. I mean, also, I mean, being on the label side as well, when you get demos that we receive in, you can hear it, not only just elements, but also arrangement, that this track is, they're trying to go after, that style or that artist song of A, B, and C. And I
Yeah,
mean, Afro House especially, it's drop one, break, drop two, outro, right? More or less. Um,
yeah. It's listen. If the track is good and it's a banger, fine.
yeah,
But fine shouldn't be the standard, right? Fine shouldn't be the standard. Like we need to be innovative and bring in our own sauce. I mean, I do this too when I'm experimenting and working on music. You're like, okay, intro, mini break, you know, whatever. And sometimes you just have to like start on a blank canvas and just go crazy and just come up with something new. Like even if it doesn't sound great that first time, just experiment because like you gotta explore because otherwise you're just gonna kind of keep feeding this machine that is just like all of the
yeah.
same.
No, I agree. I agree. I mean, talking about Manu especially, like, I think he's one of the most ridiculous producers there is across all genres today. I mean,
He's the best.
I actually, when I play, which is not that often, I don't put any of his songs because I find it incredibly hard to mix in and out of his music. I don't know why. It's just hard. Something is not, it's because it's not that formulated same. I
The
can't,
groove is different.
it's different, man. And I usually, it like it, I mean, you can do it, you can make it work, but it doesn't sound as smooth and as, um, as mixing out of other music, right? So,
There's a few tracks like that. There's a track by damn, released on Deep Root. I forget the name, but there's a few tracks like that where they're the same kind of obviously BPM as other tracks, but almost impossible to mix. And you're just like, why is this track not? Um, but yeah, Manu for me, top three producer
yeah.
ever when it comes to Afro House. Like, if I were to pick three producers to teach me and give me tips and inspire me, Manu is on that list every time, every time, every time,
No, that
every
I
time.
agree with. I think
Man,
as well, it's like also Anmi back in the day as well, like some of the older Anmi tracks also very, I mean, he kind of set the tone for that formula from his early production kind of music blow up. And then I think that's a lot of inspiration. I have to give it to him. He's ultra talented as well,
old
obviously.
school and me and old school ramper.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna say something now. Big hot take. I think Juno now is like he's like this era's Ramper. I think Juno is that.
Wow.
For me, especially, I'm not sure if I sent you that track, Kiriko, that
Yeah.
he's got coming out and spinning. I feel like Juno, the style that he's owning
Mhm.
reminds me of those early big Ramper productions. I think he's definitely taking inspiration from that.
Yeah, like, I mean, if I look back on, like, Terrace and Garden, that EP, it's, like, Juno-esque, right?
I mean, like, listen, it's German electronic music,
Right.
and he's from Hamburg, but I'm hearing it now more and more. I'm like, okay, I think I'm not saying he's listening to Rampa and then making music,
Yeah.
but that is the comparison that makes sense to me. Is Juno being this era's Rampa? It's an
That's a
interesting
big
one.
I mean, that's a big statement, but I hear it. Juno is doing something different.
Juno's
Um,
crazy, bro. Juno's crazy. I'm trying to get him back on Club Record, but listen, right now
he loves Magnifique.
he loves Magnifique. He's gonna release some spinning. I think he's got releases on other big labels. And listen, Dopamina was the track that helped him out a lot. We can say that. We can say
Mm,
that. We can say that.
It's still one of my favorite tracks. Beautiful. It's also a
Good.
bit it's just different, man. I mean, touching on the subject of labels, I mean, we're seeing a lot more of artists within our scene kind of starting up their own labels, man. Talk to me about that. What do you think? What's going on?
Yeah, I think it's become customary. I mean, starting a label in 2026, the barrier to entry of doing that is not high. It's not difficult
Yeah.
to start a label, right? What is difficult is marketing the tracks and yeah, just making that success consistent. But yeah, starting a label, anyone can do it. But yeah, recently we saw Luch start a label, Novak. I would say those two are the most notable names that stand out to me, Luch and Novak. But it
I
makes sense. I mean, Novak's got a huge audience. Luch started off the year, I mean, ended last year super strong. This year he started um, strong as well. What are your thoughts?
think it's kind of they all follow the same model, right? So you work with labels, early in your career, you get to a certain point where you've built your own audience and you don't necessarily need to leverage the label's marketing skills or strategy as much because you have access to it yourself already, right? So Night Freak is another good example of that. He founded his label last year sometime as well too, and it's because he had built that audience for a long time. He can market his own music without necessarily needing a label to back it.
I think also there's a conversation here that is Spotify versus. So it's like, does a release success depend on the Spotify numbers, or is there more involved that comes with the success of a release, right? Because someone like Night Freak and Francis, right? These big streamers, if you're just looking at Spotify, they don't need labels because they can just release a track, and based off the network and their reach on Spotify alone, they're gonna make money and have successful music,
Yeah.
right? But what happens that is beyond Spotify that increases their and elevates their level as artists? I think that is the key of a artist owned label versus more traditional label. I think that is the difference, right? Because if you're just looking at Spotify, an artist doesn't need a label, I think.
At that level, maybe not, yeah. But at the same time, right? Look, I was watching I think it was a podcast interview of Night Freak, something I remember him saying. He said, "Don't rely on the labels to market your music, market it yourself." So early on, he said he was building his own, DJ promo mailing lists and
Sure.
kind of taking that strategy into his own
Yeah.
hand. But from your side, what is the role of the label? Like, what are they supposed to be doing for the artists? Do you know what I mean?
I mean, what we do as a label that artists necessarily, I don't want to say can't do, but we help them to do, or we do it on a different scale, is literally hand the track to DJs at all levels,
Yeah.
right? What else do we do? You know, we allocate budget, right? So
Yeah.
a lot of the times, some artists may not have the means, or they're not in a position to invest a certain amount of money on marketing a track. We do provide as well marketing strategies and marketing ideas and content ideas. And
I
I
think
think also is, you know, it's hands on deck as well. Like, as an artist, you can't do everything.
yeah.
You know, you can't think of a content strategy, do in-flight, reach out to people, do the track stack thing. There's only so many things that you can do. You know, send emails, follow up with distro. Like, you know, we have a whole team that can do that, and I think that is also, you know, taking that pressure off of artists, and yeah, supporting you with that.
Yeah, it's network, and it's just resources, right? So like
But what do you think? Yeah.
yeah, it's just resources, as I said. So you have the network that, you know, you and I have built over our career in music, obviously budget allocation, and it's not just post-release, like for marketing. It's also all the pre-release stuff that needs to get sorted out as well. Mix and mastering, you know, even something as simple as an artwork, right? If you're releasing it independently, if you want to work with a creative, they're going to charge you for that.
Yeah.
Um, and then relationships with the DSPs directly, right? Through your distributor or not. You know, for an artist to take care of that directly and build a relationship with this DSP and that DSP is probably pretty unlikely, and it's not something I've heard actually too much
I mean,
um, about.
do you think Club Record is seen as an artist label? I don't think so.
I don't think so either, because we were a label first. I mean, you started releasing music post Club
Yeah.
Record coming to life. But I think it's different. It's not the same, right?
Yeah. We kind of sit in this different land of like
Hmm.
ecosystem when it comes to labels. But, you know, some of, you know, Make the Girls Dance, extremely successful artist label.
Yeah.
Mo Black, same thing. Magnifique, same thing,
Yeah.
you know? And I mean, someone like Make the Girls Dance, the amount of streams that they generate and sales,
Yeah.
it's easily, you know, at the level of a traditional level. So
I wonder, like, speaking of, you know, formulated models in Afro house music, do you think that a label benefits from having like a central artist figurehead? You know, Hugel, Night Freak, Novak, Francis.
I mean, it's all about success, right? And it's more about the music that you have on your catalog, in your
Yeah.
catalog rather. Because I think when artists look at labels, they look at the tracks that that label has released.
Yeah.
I think that's what they look at. They look at, you know, I don't know, Make the Girls Dance. What have they released recently? Tipsy. I mean, that's quite recent, but you know, they've got huge tracks, and obviously Hugel pushes a
Yeah.
lot of that. But yeah, I think it's more about the music that's been released on the label, and how much of that music, yeah,
Yeah.
they've been able to get over
I think
that success threshold.
I think as well, it's also the event space. I mean, moving into kind of a different gear here is label artists having, you know, their own showcases. Most recently, Francis announced this past week that he's going to be taking over Mondays at High Ibiza. I mean, what do you think of that?
Oof.
Yeah.
But it's a big step up, right? He did Chinoa last year.
Yeah.
That was a huge announcement as well. I mean, this year is a whole different level. But I love Night Freak. I love what Francis is doing.
Yeah.
Like to see the growth from, I don't know, 4 years ago. You remember like in Saint Tropez when we saw him?
Yeah.
But even then, I would say it was like a big deal, right? Like he was still doing his thing, selling out venues, but of course, not getting whole residencies at Ibiza. But I love it, man. It's Mondays. Mondays at High.
Mondays at High. I mean, there seems to be a bit of a shift this year, especially. I've noticed a lot of kind of new residencies changing. So, for example, Defected is leaving Ushuaia and they're going to Chinwa, I believe. Let me pull up that post.
Yeah, but I mean, not to sound too critical, but when I was looking at those Ushuaia Defected videos, I was like, yeah, this doesn't look like the biggest vibe. Not gonna lie to you.
Yeah, but it's a different. I don't think it's the same audience for us necessarily. I mean, there's a defected.
Oh, I get it. I
think there's a defected crowd and a defected. You know what I mean?
No. I'm not saying it has to be like the Afro House vibe, but I think party trends are what they are. Whether it's Afro House, whether it's more old school housey heads, like yeah, I think there is definitely a common denominator when it comes to how people party now, and it's definitely affecting defected. Like it's for sure they're seeing their crowd. Maybe the crowd is getting older because I do think the defected crowd is a bit older.
Yeah, 100%.
Than the Afro House crowd, right? So what does that mean in terms of how they spend their money? How much they're going to Ibiza? But I think Chinoa, it is a nightclub. I feel like the fact is more of a day party brand. Yeah. What do you think?
I don't know. I'm wondering whose decision it was, though. Like, was it Ushuaia or was it Defected who made the decision to move on? I don't know. I mean, looking at what else has been announced at Ushuaia, there's Tomorrowland Wednesdays and Martin Garrix Thursdays. So maybe
if you go to Ushuaia, you want that place to be packed. Like,
yeah,
if it's not packed, then you're like, what is this? Like, it's just there's no point in going to Ushuaia if 50% of it it's hasn't sold and it's empty. Like, no, man. Ushuaia, you want that Cobb and Harris vibe where it's just big stage. You go crazy for 3-4 hours.
Yeah.
Otherwise, it's like, nah,
Yeah, I get it. I mean, like, it's. I just love to know the story behind that. But High as well. I mean, they've got Dom Dollar on Fridays. I'm sure Black Coffee is going to be back on Saturday. You got Francis on Monday, and then the Universe is all the same. Monday's John Summit, Wednesday's Paradise, Jamie Jones.
2 Afro House nights.
That's what surprised me about High. I was like, that's 2 big Afro House names in close conjunction.
2 Afro House nights at High. I mean, High is not my favorite venue, but wow. What about Universe? What did you say about Universe?
Universe is more like the EDM. So they've got John Summit, Jamie Jones, David Guetta, Elro, and Carl Cox. Okay, good. That's not all.
Kind of music should do Universe, right? I mean, they don't need.
I don't think they'll do a residency though this year.
Once a month. I mean, they do.
Once
they do that anyway. Yeah. They do that anyway. Like they'll just do. Excuse me, Circo Loco.
Oh, Circo Loco. Yeah, but they do a lot of Circo Loco, right? I feel
they do a lot of Circo Loco. They'll do their annual kind of pop-up charity charity event. I'm sure they'll do High
with coffee. Maybe. Now, a big announcement week as well. I mean, not just on Ibiza. Tomorrowland dropped their lineup this week too.
You could read it.
I was like facing the screen.
You have to zoom in, man.
I'm not gonna lie, I relied more on the artists themselves posting about it than sorting through all of those names. So,
Yeah.
I mean, a few names I saw. Taxon's playing Tomorrowland. That is sick.
Taxing to Tomorrowland.
Taxon playing Tomorrowland. Kurol.
The thing is, he's a pioneer, Taxon, man. Like he's like, okay, let me ask you, who do you think are living legends? Like, obviously, people are still growing in their careers and developing, but who do you think, like, in 20 years we're gonna be like, oh man, legend, in the same way we talk about a Coffee or Shinzo or like
Yeah.
Enmi or something, like, you know what I mean?
Oh, that's a really good question. I mean, you got to give it to Taxon just what he's done with Three Step. I also want to put Bun Sharpa potentially in that. He's still young, long way to go. Luch,
On Sharpa, living legend. Okay,
telling you, man,
Bun is a living legend.
I'm a big Bun fan. I mean, all these names you kind of talked about already in this pod, but Luch I think is on the way up for sure, long term.
Luch, okay.
Luch, who else, man? Who else?
Sam
Samanaj, yeah, 100%.
Big
Samanaj, though.
Sam will be a living legend or legend. I think that who else right now is like doing a madness?
Tough one. Leave a K.
Yeah.
Leave a
Who?
K. Leave a K. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. But yeah, I just think that, Taxon bringing Three Step at Tomorrowland, that's a big deal.
That's gonna be nice, man. That's gonna be nice.
I think
Yeah.
that's probably
Yeah.
one of the first, if not the first, Three Step acts at the festival.
Rosie, I think Rosie's also doing Rosie Gold.
Yeah, Rosie Gold. I saw
think
that.
Rosie Gold is gonna be active at Tomorrowland. It's in July, right? July, Belgium.
Yeah, July, Belgium. Have you ever done Tomorrowland?
No, I don't know. Listen, never say never. I don't kind of discount experiences and say no to anything I like to try before I say no. But I don't know. It looks like too big, man.
You know what? I get invited every year and then I'm like, yeah, sounds good. And then they start talking about the details and they're like, oh, you have to do this and the camping or the accommodations. And I'm just like, I don't know, guys. I don't know.
It's the same as what's the big one here in the
What?
UK?
Like Creamfields.
No, Glastonbury.
Glastonbury, yeah, exactly.
Same as Glastonbury. My mates are always like, "Oh, Glastonbury." I'm just like,
Nah,
"What do you
man.
have to do?" Glamping. Wait, have you heard of glamping?
See, I've done glamping before, not at a festival. It was at like a safari in South Africa, but it's like a proper, the tent is bigger than my apartment. And
it's just for you.
Yeah, it's just for you. You got your own ensuite with a shower. See, I can do that. But if you're in a tent that you bought and you have to pitch it yourself and sleeping bags,
I heard about glamping for the first time this week. And someone was like, glamping. I'm like, fuck
no way.
Like, yeah, man, you do glamping. It's just like luxurious camping. Okay.
It doesn't count, bro. I think it's just, instead of you've got brick walls, you've got like canvas walls, but then your bedroom looks like a luxury hotel room. It's the same. You might have a private jacuzzi or pool or whatever, but I think
I'd rather live stream whatever event from my house.
Yeah. Then
it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. Have you left anything out? I did want to make it a bit fun this episode and ask you, because last episode we talked about finding new music for the first time, and that pre-COVID era of finding tracks in DJ sets, right? And we received some questions, and one of them was, which track would you pay to find for the first time again? That was the question. Have you got any tracks?
Yeah, there's one track that comes to mind, and I remember hearing it for the first time. I was at a black coffee show here in Toronto at a venue called Rebel, It's like a
Yeah.
massive club, 3,000 people. And the song is called Yana. It's by Dark, Da Capo, Itaziz, and Nandu.
Yana.
Yana. It's a Medoris in the House release from, that
Oh,
same
I know
era.
this one. Yeah, I know that's right.
Yeah, that one for me, I think that's one of the tracks that also inspired me to get started with Afro House Feed around that time too. That's my number one. Why don't we go one for one? Your turn.
Okay, we said I'm a Cloney by my new remix already, but
Yeah.
that one for me any day of the week. What to do remix and me, is that also too easy? Is that too obvious?
I yes and no, because I had the same feeling. I heard it the first time.
Bro. Yeah, that one super, super bang that. Bro, I'll say this. A lot of the Prince KB tracks,
Early Prince KB, yeah.
my goodness, Charlotte,
Charlotte.
flipping, yeah, a lot of the early Prince KB I would pay to hear for the first time because that came before I fell in love with Afro House, right? Like
Yeah.
I could argue I wouldn't be sitting here if it wasn't for those Prince KB, Son of Musician,
DJ Ganyani, man.
DJ Ganiani,
Yeah.
like all of those three guys, Shimza even.
Shimza. See, it was that Charlotte, like, that's such a prime example of, I don't even know how you would describe that genre, but that was the sound at the time. You know what I mean? That was different
DJ
time.
Schmega, bro. DJ
Yeah.
Schmega.
Yeah.
Crazy, bro. Crazy. Like, yeah, I think I would pay to relive discovering that music.
That era.
Shimza, early Shimza, Ganiani, flipping Son Musician, DJ Schmega, Prince KV, I said, and I'm sure there's more, man. I'm sure there's more.
There's a lot. There's so much. I mean, I'm scrolling through my playlist right now, and it's just looking back on those earlier tracks, completely different time. I think one that stands out for me, I know it might be a little bit cliche too, but it's the original Rapture by Anmi. That for me was it. I still listen to it a lot. It's a journey.
Yeah, I'm gonna go for a track that I played last night, that Ngeke Andem remix.
Okay. Yeah, I like that one too.
Love it. Love that track. Anything else? Let's do two more each.
There's a track on Mo Black. I mean, I think it's kind of underrated. We talk about this a lot. It's a song called Blackout by DJ BK.
Oh, oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That track, bro.
I love that
track.
track.
I could run a marathon just listening to that track.
Yeah.
Over and over and over again.
It's so emotional. It's like thought provoking, and it's just gorgeous.
That is like a movie soundtrack.
Yeah.
That is a movie soundtrack. Blackout. I'm gonna go with Juno Last Dance as well.
Okay. Something more recent. Yeah.
Something more recent. I've got to go something more recent. I think Juno Last Dance I'll put up there.
Yeah. My last one is gonna be, it's kind of how I discovered Mujo. I mean, he's, I think, starting to transition away from the Afro House sound now, but Laura from a few years back, that kind of put me onto Mujo for the first time.
You might have to play it for me. Refresh my memory.
I'll send it to you. It's like
last one was, yeah, go on.
I just said it's an Afrotech hard hitting
Afrotech one.
Oh yeah.
Last one I'm gonna say is, again, obvious choice, Night Freak Primigo remix.
Okay. I mean, deserved, man. That song had the world in a chokehold, and still kind of does, you know?
Game changer, bro.
Yeah.
That one is a game changer.
100%. Cool, man. I mean, do we want to finish with some questions? Did you get anything back from the audience, or?
I think one of the questions which I remember was, what does it take to get signed by Club Record?
Oh, that's a good question. I think, at least from my side, there's no set rules, or, you have to be like this. It's just your song. Does the song gel? with us in the team? And if so, then you're on. But yeah, it's not about followers. It's not about profile. It's just only about the music.
Okay, let's be honest. Okay, so I'll give you guys a detailed process of what happens when we get a track, right?
Yeah.
So usually, I don't know, I'm always doing some admin, some paperwork, something, texting someone, listening to music, right? I'm always busy. So when I get a track, what I do instantly is I forward it. I don't listen to it straight away because I'm usually busy. So I forward it to our A&R WhatsApp chat. And that might sit in there for a few hours, a few minutes, whatever. And then immediately the team will share their thoughts, whether to say it's good or bad, pass, ass. I know it's true. I'm being real, right? That's what happens.
That is what happens, yeah.
But then if you guys say, yeah, this is the one, this is good, then I'll go and listen in, and then kind of that's like stamp of approval.
Yeah.
So that's one way on WhatsApp. If we go on TrackStack, we check everything, right? So our team, myself as well, obviously, we check the music. You know, if it doesn't work, it's rejected. If we like something, we put it in second listen so that everyone else has the opportunity to listen to the track. And then we make a decision. But when it comes to the sound, I think just bring something that is unique. Don't try and make music that is a copy of something else, because we're gonna know straight away. Like there's 4 of us, 5 of us. Like we're gonna know straight away if it sounds like someone else.
Yeah.
And that's gonna be a mind blocker. We're gonna be like, nah, it just sounds like this. Especially when it comes to, you know, kind of production style, whether it's a vocal, whatever. So just make music that is yours, and yeah, as I said, we don't really overthink it. It's just like, is it a banger? Is it good? There we go.
That's it, man. Yeah, if our A&R chat ever get leaked, we might be in some trouble, man.
Hey, man, I'm sure there's a lot more chats like that, man. It's
100%.
You gotta keep it real, though. You gotta keep it real.
I agree, man. All right, guys, that was episode 5. Appreciate you guys listening in. Be sure to like, leave a review, comment, rate us on Spotify. We'll see you next week.